Hi, this is George from jingherbs.com, and I'm sitting here with my old friend and guide Lao Tzu, and in front of me is an absolute treasure trove of wild American ginseng. Now, I don't know if all of you have ever seen a wild ginseng root before, but I'm going to show you some specimens today that are absolutely outstanding. These are the roots that I personally selected for the 2013 vintage of Jingherbs Phoenix Drops. Now, I have personally selected these roots from the growing areas of the United States. There are roots here from New York, the Appalachians, Kentucky, North Carolina, and other growing areas. These roots are very, very special, and most of them are also very, very old. Now, we know that the energy of a ginseng root really accumulates, especially as they age. It goes from a very coarse energy to a more refined and really even energy. And this is the kind of energy that you actually feel when you do Phoenix Drops. It's a very sublime energy, and it's really mild, and it just makes you feel great and alive. We all know that this kind of energy is very regenerating. And one of the reasons that we call it Phoenix Drops is because Phoenix is all about rebirth and regeneration. And this is the kind of energy that these roots contain. Now, what do I look for when I look for roots for this special extract? Well, the first thing is definitely the age of the root. Now, we have some roots here that are really, really old. This root that I'm holding in my hand is probably close to, I would say, between 40 and 50 years old. This root has been on the earth almost as long as I have. And it's certainly absorbed so much of the energy, not only of the sun, which is a very yang energy, but it's also absorbed the energy of the earth, which is yin. As a matter of fact, it has transformed the energy of the sun into yin energy. This is one of the things that American ginseng is so special for, that its energy is yin in nature. It's cooling and it's nourishing. That's why it is so highly prized in China, because their ginseng tends to be warm or hot. Now, I was actually talking to one of the diggers from West Virginia, and he was telling me about one of the diggers that actually got a root, a very old root, that really looked like a human figure. By the way, the Chinese name for ginseng is renshen, which is man root. And when you find a root that really looks like a human figure, it's really highly prized. So this digger actually found this root, and someone from China offered him $1 million for that root. That's how prized these are. Now, we don't have a root that looks exactly like a man, but these roots are absolutely amazing. This root here that I have in my hand is probably at least 30 years old. Now, you would think that a root that's 30 years old would really be big, but these roots are not. They grow very slowly, and they really concentrate the energy in them. And one of the great things about getting roots like this is that you actually get all of these really incredible tap roots that go down into the earth and really get the energies and the elements and all the nutrients from the earth into the root. Now, we basically tell the age of a root by the number of growth rings that it has. So every year the root will expand, and then in the fall and the winter the root contracts, and it creates bands that go across it like this. But the reason that these roots is also so special is because they also have the necks attached. And this is one of the best ways to also tell the age of the root, is that you can actually count the number of times that it sent a shoot up and that the leaves actually came out and blossomed. So we have the rings, but we also have this way where we can verify how old these roots are. And most of the roots here are at least 25 years old. Some of them go up to 40 and 50 years old. And I just wanted to give you a really good idea of the kind of roots that you're going to get in the 2013 vintage of Phoenix Drops. Let me just zoom in on a couple and I'll just give you a good close-up look. So I wanted to give you a really close-up look at some of these roots. They are just so amazing. And as I was talking to you about before, you can see how all of these rings go down the body of this root. And that's one of the ways that you can tell the age, is by counting the rings. And by the way, you count in between the dark lines. So the ring is actually right there in the middle. A lot of people make the mistake and they actually count the dark lines, and that's basically like, half a year. So they're doubling what they're counting. And again, great necks on this. Here's another amazing root. And one of the things that I love about these roots, and when I was going through them, is that we got these incredible tap roots. So the diggers actually took a good amount of time getting these out of the ground, because these are really important. These have so much of the nutrients of the earth and the energy of the earth in them. And I was really excited when I saw these. And another thing, one of the ways that you can tell a wild root from a domesticated root, or a cultivated root, I should say, is that the wild roots all have these little nodules on the roots as they go down. The roots that are grown commercially, or the roots that are grown for mass consumption, they're not rare at all, don't have these little nodules. This is something that's very indicative of a real true wild root. So one of the other things that I want to show you that's really special about these roots is that they actually come with export certificates. This one is from Kentucky, all right? And it verifies that these are wild roots and that they're green. So these are not dried roots. These are fresh roots that are going to be extracted. And one of the other things about extracting fresh roots like that is that you just get that energy that's alive. This is Phoenix Drops in the raw. So I wanted to just share this incredible find with you, and I hope that you enjoy the 2013 extract of Jing Herbs Phoenix Drops. And until next time, be well.